Hey everybody, welcome back to Tech Odyssey. So today I want to talk about the pretty fantastic iPhone 13 Pro. I underestimated this phone and how much I would end up liking it. And if you've watched my videos in the past, you know I'm not the biggest iPhone fan in the world. I'm recording with one. I use it for my YouTube channel. I'm recording with my iPhone 12 right now. This phone, a lot of people were talking about how it's just an upgrade, like the S model. It's just the 12S basically, not really a 13. And I kind of got to disagree with that. The camera setup on here is fantastic. Now, coming over from the 12 to the 13 Pro, it's a very drastic difference. Maybe less of a difference from the 12 Pro because it does have more camera capabilities. But I even had the 12 Pro last year, the Pro Max. Ended up giving that one to my wife and going to the 12. This time, I wanted the extra storage. I was really drawn in with the macro photography stuff and the enhanced camera capabilities, plus the ProMotion display. I like this phone a lot, and that caught me off guard, especially since I love my Z Flip 3 so much, and I want to talk about that in this video because I think it's important for people who are on the fence about wanting to get this phone, or if you have concerns about it because it's pretty stinking good. Anyway, but before we get into that, I do want to say if this is your first time stopping by the channel, thank you for being here. I encourage you to watch it to the end because there's a lot of information I'm going to cover in here that you'll miss if you don't watch all of it. But also, if you do enjoy it, please consider hitting the like and the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can get updates when new videos come out because I put out videos every day. Now, let's talk about the iPhone 13 Pro. So first things first, the camera's on here. Fantastic. I did a camera review. I actually went out to Disneyland and I took a ton of photos, like 300. I paired and tailored that down and made, I think, a pretty good video to highlight a lot of the capabilities. Coming over from the 12, wow, it's really impressive. Now, again, I did have the 12 Pro Max this last year, and it just wasn't that special to me. I wasn't really drawn to it. The Pro Max, gigantic, heavy, big, bulky phone. I didn't have an opportunity to get the 12 Pro. The 12 was perfectly fine. It's the same selfie camera, so no big deal. I use it to record my videos. This go around, I have just been impressed when I've gone out and I've taken photos, especially the macro photography. I like it. I like to refer to them as those National Geographic shots. The stuff you see on the front of the cover where you see all the little tiny things like the ant, the water droplets, the level of detail that you can't get up close with a normal camera. So I like that. I've experienced it in a lot of Android phones. It's just not been all that impressive. So seeing how it works on here and just the quality of the images is top notch. It looks really good. Also, the biggest thing is the battery life. I managed to get 10 hours of screen on time out of this. Unplugged it at like 8 o'clock in the morning, and it lasted me until 2 or 3 o'clock the next morning. Uncanny. That right there is like the biggest selling point because I've talked about this over and over in other videos. There's nothing that I've seen in the Android market that can really touch this with the amount of power, the sophistication, the 120 Hz ProMotion display. It's nice. Granted, we still don't have 100% support for third-party apps. Hopefully that's coming soon. But just the Apple stuff, the base user interface, it's nice. And I enjoy it. And I'm looking forward to full implementation once they get it on board. I'm sure that's going to impact the battery life more. But it's just a really nice phone to use. The battery life will keep you going basically forever. Now, I do have dark mode on. And I also have adaptive brightness, the auto adjusting brightness that's on here. If you turn that off and keep your brightness up higher, you're going to get less battery life. But 10 hours with adaptive brightness and dark mode, pretty darn good. And it's funny the way they hide it. You can't just go into display settings. They lead you to believe that there's not a way to turn it off. You have to go into like accessibility options, and then you can turn it off there. But it doesn't bother me as much on Apple as it does with Android. When I use Androids, the adaptive brightness really irks me. It makes it too dark all the time. I have a hard time seeing it. I always keep my brightness up higher on Android phones. So anytime you use adaptive or auto brightness, you're going to get better battery life. But I think it's better on iPhones than it is on Android. So, maybe you have differing opinions, I don't know. But that was the biggest things. Coming over, this new display, it looks crisp, it's sharp, it's smooth. The battery life is just, if you want a phone that has battery life, either one of these phones, especially the Pro Max. I've been seeing some of the stuff people have been getting on the Pro Max, and it's just mind-blowing when it comes to overall battery performance. And I gotta admit, it's making it really hard to want to put my SIM card back in my Z Flip. And y'all guys know how much I love the Z Flip. Now, I haven't used it for the last week because I didn't take it with me when I was in Los Angeles this last week. I needed the expanded battery capabilities. I needed the extra camera capabilities. And I only wanted to carry one phone while I was out. I didn't want to have to carry two phones or a phone and a battery bank. The iPhone 13 Pro is probably just about the best option you can get when it comes to all-day staying power and the level of performance you get here. There are no compromises. None whenever it comes to this phone, at least not that I have found, other than the fact that we still don't have USB-C. One day, maybe we'll get a USB-C iPhone. Right now, we don't have that, so we may never. I know they talk about this whole portless, cordless iPhone, all this jazz, whatever. The MagSafe charging, I like that. I've got my MagSafe charging adapter next to my bed. I just pop it on there. I only have to charge it when I get ready to go to bed at night. It's not like, hey, let me charge it up after I get done with dinner, or I use it all day heavily. I pretty much haven't run into any case where I don't just go put it on the charger like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, whenever I get ready to go to bed, and it's good to go. So if you're somebody who really needs a phone that lasts you all day long, sun up to sundown to midnight to whatever, the iPhone 13 Pro is going to be it for you. And like I said, I underestimated it. I didn't really like the iPhone 12 that much. I liked my purple one, like my purple iPhone 12. I'm kind of biased to the color. I enjoy it. I think it looks cool. I got the purple iPad mini. But when it comes to this one, I was like, okay, I'm not a big iPhone fan. I love my Z Flip. I'm just going to carry this for a couple days because I feel like I need to. And then I'll go right back. And then I come back home and I'm like, I'm really enjoying this entirely too much. I missed having my Apple Pay to use that. I miss iMessage. There are a lot of great things about iPhone that I've learned to appreciate more since I've removed the whole just hating Apple for being Apple thing. And I'm not a big fan of the company. I don't really like the way that they do a lot of things, but they do make a good phone. And they make a lot of good phones, really. I mean, you can get pretty much any phone nowadays from iPhone 13, 12 series. You're going to get a great device. It's got 5G now. This ProMotion stuff. I really feel like the iPhone 13 Pro is actually a pro-level phone now. I like the rack focus. I like the cinematic mode. It's really neat. I tested that out too. Got some cool stuff going on there. And it's absolutely perfect for content creation. If you want to be a one-stop shop, just use a smartphone to make YouTube videos or any other social media creation stuff. If you're a content creator and you don't want to use a regular camera, this phone is absolutely perfect. And I've been doing this for a while now. iPhone 11 Pro Max, and I went to the iPhone 12 Pro Max, the iPhone 12, the iPhone 13 Pro. It fits in all the mounts just fine. It has a pretty good microphone in it already. I use the Shure MV88 microphone. I also have a Rode microphone that I can use as well. Both of them work great. You plug them in, you hit record. It's so simple and easy. And then you can do airdrop. And if you've got a Mac computer, you edit with Final Cut Pro. You've got ProRes now with the iPhone 13 Pro. You'll be able to record with that. Of course, it's like 6 gigabytes for like 1 minute of recording. It's just astronomically insane. But you can go up to a terabyte now with the iPhone 13 Pro and Pro Max. It's expensive. Like, it's a really expensive phone. But that's what I wanted to talk about, because it's these moments that I feel like are important to capture for viewers. It's not just like, oh, it's got the A15, it's got this, it's got that, it's got, we can talk about specs all day long, but people want to know what are the things with these devices that make people like me, who are just habitually using new phones all the time and reviewing them, what has staying power? What makes the phone something that you just don't want to put down, and what makes it so great to use on a day-to-day basis? And it just comes back to the batteries, the camera, the services you get, iMessage, Apple Pay, all that great stuff. And then this new ProMotion display, I like it a lot. So that's what I wanted to share with you in this video. I'm not going to go too much more into this, but it's just one of those things. I'm not a big Apple guy. I'm really not. I prefer Android. I prefer my Z Flip, my Z Fold 3. But there's just something special about this 13 Pro that I think a lot of people are glossing over. It's not just an S model. I feel like it legitimately is an upgraded phone over last year's 12 Pro series. I did have the 12 Pro Max. I used it for a while, and it just didn't have that wow factor for me. And now the new cameras, the ProMotion display, the better battery life, better 5G than last go around. I think there's a lot here, especially the expanded camera features, that people can appreciate, not getting hung up on this 12, 12S, 13. It's very much a pro model phone, and I think it is, like what Apple says, it's the most pro iPhone Pro ever, and I think it lives up to the name, and I think if you want to pick one up, you'll probably enjoy it. I think it's a solid device, and that's what I wanted to get across here today. Makes a really compelling argument and hard to put it down. So that's all I've got in this video. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave those down in the comment section. I'll get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.